get started. Let's have some fun. The beat is sick. I want to take a ride on your disco stick. Greetings, one and all. My name is Lancer. It has been a bit. I am not going to explain myself because that would just be a circle that I do not want to continue to complete. We're back now. We're starting new things like this series. Bear with me on the quality of the audio and the video capture. I'm testing new things. It's low quality, obviously frame rate's awful, but we're figuring things out. We'll get it all sorted out eventually. Just trying out OBS and this headset. I'm just trying things, okay? I mean, if you look at it, we're already doing better in terms of just quality in terms of last time. Because look, we have our own space. We've got a microphone. I'm not just doing everything on my phone. So I'd say we're good to go. So, what are we doing today, Lancer? Well, first of all, I think I should address that. Obviously, I've changed my channel name to Lancer. We'll address that later in this specific series. But as for now, you can refer to me as Lance or Lancer. Take your pick. Or Duke if you're old school. But preferably, we're gonna go with Lancer. Well, I've come up with a new series idea. And what this new series is reviewing every single anime that's on my anime list, going from top to bottom. Obviously on the top here you can see I have some that are still airing, but we'll get to those eventually. Some background. I have been watching anime, not for my entire life. I've recently started, within the last couple of years or so, branched out and watch all kinds of anime. It started when I was a kid and I watched Dragon Ball Z, and you best believe I'm going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z. But again, we'll get there. So, brief introduction done. Pretty much how this series is going to work is I really want to talk about anime because I am a weeb, I guess is what you could call me. I will take that title with pride, but what I prefer is anime connoisseur. As of recording this video, I have 156 entries on my MAL. A lot of those are movies and OVAs for the same series, but overall I'd say I have about maybe 130, maybe 140 just series complete. And I'd like to go through and review them one by one with this video. I have it sorted by alphabetical order, so pretty much the good stuff will be a little later. And how this series is going to work is I'll pretty much give a synopsis, an analysis, and then my own personal review and what I think about the show. Because a lot of these shows I watched several years ago, or it's been a while, but recently I've gone through and rewatched a lot of them, so it's a little more fresh in my memory, but there's some I haven't rewatched yet. At the start, I'll give what my current score is overall for the show, and then because on here you can give it anywhere from a 1 to a 10 star, pretty much. Because as I talk about it, I've done this a lot with certain shows. The more I talk about it, the more I'm hey, I guess it wasn't that bad, or it's wow, that actually was pretty bad. At the start, what my score was, and then at the end, I'll give my score if it's changed at all. Maybe it's bumped up a star or it's gone down a star. Without further ado, let's get into the first show that's on my MAL, which is I can't believe I'm starting all this with this show, but it is Akagami no Shirayuki Hime, first and second season, or the English title is Snow White with the Red Hair. I gave season 1 a 5 out of 10, which is an average, and I gave season 2 a 6 out of 10, which is fine. I completed this series not long after it came out. As with most people who start anime, I watched a lot of it, of the shows dubbed, because that was before I really started being oh, Japanese is actually a better way to... I have my own system when it comes to watching things dubbed. We'll get to that on other stuff, but pretty much, yeah, I watched it dubbed. I haven't rewatched this because I didn't like the show that much, obviously. I mean, I gave it a 5 and a 6. Pretty much what this show is it starts out with this girl. She has red hair, as implied by the title. She's just this chick who's really obsessed with herbs and medicine and stuff. And pretty much from the start, you can already tell it's just okay, All this girl has going for her is that she has very pretty red hair, and she loves everybody because protagonist powers. From the get-go, like the first episode is like she gets instantly recognized by royalty, and like I think the dude like wants to make her his bride or whatever. She pretty much, and then right off the bat, like she has like this long hair, and then because of all that, she cuts it off. I mean, it's kind of trying to set up, it's just like, oh, she's badass or whatever, but like I don't know. And then very quickly she runs into Pretty Boy Zen. And oh yeah, the main girl's name is Shirayuki, by the way. Sorry if this is like kind of boring or whatever, but I'm trying to fit. This is the first episode of this. I'm trying to figure it out. I was like, yeah, she meets Pretty Boy Zen and her two aides. I don't remember their names, but there's a badass chick who doesn't take crap from anybody, and then funny, goofy dude, who in the dub is voiced by the same guy who voices Whis from Dragon Ball. But anyway, very quickly, a lot of tropes are established. Like I said, like the funny, goofy aide guy, the pretty boy who's gonna be going after this chick and pretty much being her literal knight in shining armor for the entire show. Yeah, spoilers by the way when I talk about all these shows. I mean, if you care about this show, you've watched it by now. The more I've thought about this show, the more I've realized how stupid it is. It's just, like, it's not... Like, it's set in medieval times as well, so I get, like, chivalry and whatever and all that. Pretty much just what it's trying to do is just set up the whole knight in shining armor thing, but it doesn't do it that well because the guy is just so boring. Like, it's the standard cardboard cutout guy who just... oh, he's so mysterious. I hate that term. He's so mysterious. Like, I love him. It's just like, if you want a mysterious guy and like you're going after the mysterious guy in real life, chances are he's mysterious because he wants to be mysterious. So either he's a murderer or he's a rapiste. YouTube, stay away from me. Anyway, yeah. But later in first season, she does meet this guy named Obi, and it's like the first like kind of tension kind of thing where they set up, it's like, oh, love triangle, because every romance must have a love triangle, you know, your Edward and your Jacob or whatever. I honestly liked Obi better than any other character in this show though, just because like he's like acrobatic, he's a good fighter. It's just, but then like he never actually decides whether or not he likes the girl. I really don't like this show the more I'm thinking about it. It's just, it's so boring. It's just this typical, like, Twilight Girl fantasy kind of show where it's just... I'm glad I didn't go through and try to rewatch this show because I would have just been bored either way. But although I will say, there is much worse romance anime out there. Some of them are on my list, trust me. But just in terms of like what it tries to do, it's a pretty show. Like, I'll give it that. Like, it has its moments where it's like, okay, oh, that looks pretty good. Ironically, it is animated by Studio Bones, which is the same studio that animates My Hero Academia. And this came out like around the same time My Hero started airing, which is interesting. I just found out about that right now as I researched it beforehand. Oh man. See, it would be fine if it was just like a one-off season, like 12 episodes or whatever, but there's 24 episodes. It's 2 seasons long. I do think I still prefer the second season though, because it does have a little bit more intrigue, like the girl's father who's like this pirate or whatever. It's just like the twist, just like, you're my dad. It's just like, well, obviously he's the only other redhead in the show. I was like, imagine if like hair color that's in anime was like actually a thing where like you could actually grow like freaking neon red hair or neon green hair just naturally. That'd be weird. But yeah, overall, honestly, Snow White with the red hair, it's not good. I would give it a higher score if like they maybe tried a little harder with just making the guy at least somewhat like likable. But the whole time he's just like constantly just being, you know, just my royal problems and whatever, just the girl just being the damsel in distress constantly, but then like she has her moments where she fights back. It's just like, I can handle myself, but obviously you can't because every other episode you're either getting poisoned or almost killed, and That's whatever. But either way, I definitely think I'm gonna lower my score for season 1 at least. Yeah, it was a 5. I had it on average, but I think now I'm gonna lower it to a 3. Season 1, I'm gonna lower to a 3, and season 2, I'm gonna lower it to a 4. It's just, yeah. I should say that my average MAL score, like the mean score that you can look at, is a 6.68. It's actually gone up. Recently, it was at like a 6.41 or something like that. So you can tell that I don't particularly love a lot of things that are on my list. But there are things that I do love quite a bit. So, pretty much, that's Akagami no Shiryuke Hime Season 1 and 2, Snow White with the Red Hair. So this is my triumphant return to YouTube. I'm not gonna give any updates on what I've been doing because it's not important, and I'm not gonna bog you down with that. I did enough update videos and stuff that I said I was going to do and never actually went through with it, so we're not gonna bother with that. Hopefully this video records properly and goes into my editing software properly, and I don't have to do this video over again because I don't want to talk about this show again. That was my review of Snow White with the Red Hair. It's not good. Do I recommend it? No. I mean, if you're a girl who's into like Twilight and stuff like that, sure, go for it. But to anyone who actually likes anime and just like good romance stories, there's so much better out there that we'll actually get to. So this was my review, and join me next time when we review a slightly better show, Akamega Kill. So thanks for watching, and we'll continue this next time. Thanks for watching this video. Click subscribe if you're looking forward to more anime reviews of mine, as well as any more goofy videos or gameplay that I do want to plan on doing. Click the like button, comment, give me any recommendations for anime as well, because I'd like to review other shows like outside of this alphabet list. So yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Lancer. Chane.